Hello, welcome to my Chalk Talk presentation for our Coaching Principles and Practice class. So today I'm going to be talking about the motivational topic of self-esteem. So just so you can reference throughout the presentation, self-esteem is having confidence in one's own worth or abilities and self-respect. So out of the 3 articles that I've chosen, the first one is called Applying Psychological Theories of Self-Esteem in Coaching and Practice. So within this article that I found in the database, there was a lot of different types of theories of self-esteem that have been developed over the years, and that can be recorded as late as or as early as 1860. So in this article, it was found that self-esteem can actually be both helpful and harmful, but it is also viewed as a core human need. So this relates to coaching because if it's considered a core human need, then as a coach, you need to be aware of it for your athletes and for yourself. So through the different theories, there are different ways that you can apply this theory to your coaching. So some of these ways would be like clarifying realistic goals for your athletes as well as like the relevance of them. You can establish different realistic standards and expectations of self so that you're with present standards and it is something that you feel that your athletes will be able to reach their full potential with. Clarification is really important in having your athletes have clarification of who they are and their own needs and values. This is really important as a coach because it's up to you to have a positive regard and give lots of positive feedback that is going to help those internalized goals that your athletes have and that they're bringing to every practice and every game. It's also important as a coach that you need to have a lot of positive feedback so that you can create the safe climate that will help boost self-esteem of your players. In the next article that I found, it's called Self-Esteem in Children's Reactions to Youth Sport Coaching Behaviors, a field study of self-enhancement processes. So this study actually was done with youth baseball teams. So this particular study consisted of 51 male coaches and 542 male athletes. And the athletes, they were youth baseball, so they were about ages 11. So the study found, after going through looking at all of these different relationships between the coaches and the athletes, that the athletes who had low self-esteem, they responded most positively to the highly supportive coaches, and they responded negatively to the coaches who were less supportive of them. And just the same, higher self-esteem children or athletes, they were not as much affected by whether or not the coaches were supportive or not supportive of them. And then it also just said that children with low self-esteem are especially responsive to supportive and instructional orientations in adult leaders. So it really depends on how you coach. That reflects on your players, especially those with low self-esteem. So the last and third article that I was able to find is called Sports Competition and Its Influence on Self-Esteem Development. So when I was reading this, I thought it was really interesting, actually. They looked at many different relationships that affect participation for different athletes. And the reasons for participation that related to self-esteem, the most important and prevalent one was the coach's assessments of ability and intention of the participant are extremely important factors in the development of self-esteem. So it's really how the coach is assessing the player and their overall goals and their feedback. That is the most important for the player's self-esteem. They also found that the social aspects of being in a team and like having fun or making friends as your reason of participating in the sport, this did help like boost self-esteem as well as tear it down, but that wasn't as big as an effect as the coach has on the players. So for my high profile example, I chose Herb Brooks. So he's commonly known as portrayed as in the movie Miracle, but he was a real coach, and I just thought that he was really inspiring to his players, particularly when he coached the U.S. hockey team in the 1980 Winter Olympics. He really inspired his players to be the best version of themselves and work as a team, and they were able to overcome their obstacles and just have a really positive attitude and self-confidence that helped them boost their self-esteem throughout every game and every practice, and every time they were knocked down, he was able to build them up again. This is his speech that he said. There's a lot of key takeaways that I felt were really important, and you were able to see that their self-esteem could be built easily, like such a motivating speech. And then just lastly, to close up, this is a little summary of what I found out of all of the articles, out of all my research, and some of the strategies that I just would use as a coach would be to set team goals and individualized goals that are realistic, provide individualized feedback to each of my players, be supportive and encouraging, be present, understand what they're going through, help them out, be clear about expectations, goals, and feedback, and making sure to include confidence-driven conversations that will help boost self-esteem. That feedback piece is really important because the coach's assessment is what is going to drive each athlete, and it's going to reflect on and off the field for them. So this is my Chalk Talk on self-esteem. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for listening and watching.